Well, 2018 was an amazing year for games. The likes of Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, Spider-Man, the list goes on and on. But 2019 is looking just as good. I'm Arlos from Ice Games, and these are my most anticipated games of 2019. Small disclaimer here, although a lot of games have been announced for 2019, this list is exclusively games that have release dates in 2019. At number 10, Far Cry New Dawn. Surprisingly, the very first direct sequel in the Far Cry series. This is taking place 17 years after the nukes fall in Far Cry 5. This area is thrown into a very colorful post-apocalyptic world. This will be a very interesting version of Hope County. You'll be able to utilize the guns and Fangs for Hire system that was available in Far Cry 5. It's bound to lead to some very interesting characters and some really fun combinations. The weapons shown off so far are very imaginative and really have a Far Cry feel while seeming a bit jerry-rigged. In true Ubisoft fashion, you'll be traveling around, taking outposts, gathering materials, with some hunting thrown in for a nice change of pace. Vehicles will also play a role in traveling from place to place, and I'm expecting some new and interesting transports. We'll find out on February 15th on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. At number 9, Shenmue 3. The dream is real. After a surprise announcement on the Sony stage in 2015 and gaining over $7 million using crowdfunding, it's finally time to see the game come to life. The Shenmue series is best described as immersive, as there are so many things going on, including a literal 2-hour walk in Shenmue 2. But the charm of the games keep me coming back. Shenmue 3 seems to be more of the same, and that's definitely a good thing. So our hero Ryo will continue his search for his father's killer. I'm curious on how the story will continue, but it's going to be a fun martial art filled journey that continues on PS4 and PC on August 27th. Number 8, MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. This comes from the creators of MechWarrior Online, Piranha Games, so you know they understand how to show giant battle mechs destroying each other. The 5th installment of the long-running series will focus on the 3rd Succession War, and you will lead a mercenary group, picking what missions to deploy on and how to upgrade and modify your ever-growing selection of battle mechs. The destruction of both the mechs themselves and the environment will be on full display, featuring a varied amount of biomes to battle on, each affecting your mechs in a different way. The game's main focus will be on its expansive single-player campaign, but it will also feature cooperative multiplayer for up to 4 players. The game was originally slated for 2018 release, but we now know it'll be out on PC September 10th. At number 7, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. A game by From Software. That's all you really need to say to get most people to listen. Although Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is not part of the Soulsborne series, it seems to have a bit in common with it. It also seems to be inspired by the Tenchu series. Again, not a bad thing at all. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice takes place in 16th century Japan, where you control a shinobi who wields a grappling hook and other gadgets where one of his arms should be. This grappling hook makes for some quick traversal of the environment and some interesting uses against the rather large bosses shown off so far in the game. The game was designed with no multiplayer, so you'll be able to actually pause the action. Here's hoping they'll add a photo mode so we can get a good look at some of the immense creatures we're tasked with slaying. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice launches on March 22nd for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. At number 6, Total War: Three Kingdoms. The Total War series has had some struggles in the past few years, but that all seems to be changing with Three Kingdoms. Taking place in 190 AD during the Three Kingdoms period of China, a brand new area of history for Total War. They seem to be adding a ton of quality of life changes to the Total War formula also. What I'm most excited about is the new revamped diplomacy options. Also, your choices of who to attack and with which lord will have lasting consequences later in the game. Lords have been changed as well, as they are more important now. They will each have their own personalities, motivations, and loyalties. Multiple lords will also control different groups of soldiers on the battlefield, passing on their unique abilities and playstyles to the soldiers around them, adding to the replayability and guaranteeing no 2 campaigns will be the same. You'll be able to dive into this world on March 7th on PC, Mac, and Linux. Number 5, Days Gone. One of the few times in recent memory that a zombie game has looked this good. The first time we saw the game, they showed off how the word horde of zombies can take on a new meaning. Later, we learned we can strategically direct them into your enemies, and well, that's just going to be fun. One of the most interesting features so far of the game is going to be the motorbike you ride and how that will try to breathe new life into the genre. You'll also have some tracking sequences, as the character you play on, named Deacon, will start the game as a bounty hunter. And although it will be an open world, we'll also have a very narrative approach. There are also times throughout the game when you have to make a choice, be it the mission you're going to partake in, or how you interact with certain characters. And above all, zombie bears. Days Gone will be available exclusively on PS4, April 26th. At number 4, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. The Ace Combat series has been around for 24 years, set in a world similar to ours, where different countries seem to be in a perpetual Cold War that always breaks out in aerial combat. This next installment looks to be the best yet. This time, you play as a pilot in a penal squadron that kind of last chance for a redemption story. Ace Combat 7 also has a VR mode that's exclusive to the PS VR for the first year and looks great. It also has a few multiplayer modes and even a Battle Royale style match. You can expect some intense dogfights and Top Gun jokes starting January 18th on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on February 1st. Number 3, The Division 2. It seems like New York is not the only city hit by the dollar flu, as The Division 2 takes place in the nation's capital of Washington, 7 months after the original game. This time, the snowy streets are exchanged with overgrown ones with summer conditions. It'll be a nice change of pace and will make the world feel slightly different from the original. Your agent will also have access to a bunch of new gadgets, and they'll need every one as the new factions they're taking out are more armored and organized. And this time, they're committed to a civil war for control of the city and the country. The Dark Zone returns with a few changes, mainly the fact that there are 3 different locations spread around the city, and if you go rogue, there are more risks but more rewards. Your fight for the city starts on March 15th on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. At number 2, Kingdom Hearts 3. It feels like a dream that Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally coming out, as it's been in development for what feels like forever. But with a series like this, I'm willing to wait until it's finished before they actually put it out. There will be more worlds than ever to explore, as with some returning favorites, there'll be some from more recent Disney and Pixar movies, including Toy Story, Big Hero 6, Frozen, and even Monsters Incorporated. There are bound to be a ton of new summons and battles alongside new and returning Disney characters, all woven into a wonderful story where anything can happen, and usually does. This will be a grand adventure for Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and one of the best games of the year. We will soon find out on PS4 and Xbox One on January 25th. Number 1, Anthem. BioWare has one of the best track records for creating immersive and beautiful worlds. This seems to be the case again with Anthem, their newest IP, where you travel in an expansive open world in one of several very customizable battlesuits called Javelins. This will be an online, shared world RPG, but don't worry, the game will contain an expansive single-player campaign, but as with most games of this genre, it's best played with a group of friends. Like most BioWare games, Anthem will have some expansive lore attached to it. This time, you're being tasked with stopping a group that controls the Anthem of Creation and is using it to create creatures bent on destroying the people of Terrace. This is a game I'm excited about, and not just because Edmonton's near my hometown. You can jump into Anthem on February 22nd on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Thank you guys so much for watching my top 10 most anticipated games of 2019. This year is shaping up to be a really good one for games, and we're just getting started. I'm really excited to see what the rest of the year has in store for us. Also, if there's a game that you're really excited about that I didn't talk about in this list, let me know down in the comments below. Also, guys, this was my first ever top 10 list, so if you guys have any suggestions on how I can make things better, leave them down in the comments below. And if you guys have any suggestions for a top 10 list, leave them down in the comments below. You can also head over to Discord. We got a Discord channel, and you guys can leave it there. So once again, thank you guys so much, and until next time, keep your stick on the ice.